Oh, how times have changed since we were kids. I know that makes me sound old, but when you're a parent, you kind of think back to how were things when I was a kid. And you know what? When you misbehaved, you got grounded. Go to your room for 2 weeks and you're not coming out. You're not going on your bike. You're not playing football. You're not seeing your friends. You can't go to the cinema. You're not going downtown or whatever it is you used to do. And you know what? Now kids would love that, wouldn't they? And you have to kind of revert more to taking the phones off them or their iPads or turning the Wi-Fi off. And really, what you should probably say is, get outside. You're not allowed in the house. Probably be more of a punishment. Anyway, and what it boils down to is back when you were a kid, back in the day, you entertained yourself. You found games. You thought up games between you and your friends. You used your imagination, and the world was a big place. You used to go out and explore and go through fields and climb trees and play football, find the biggest, muddiest puddle and dive in it in your brand new clothes. And that was all about. And now kids, I think, rely too much on parents to entertain them, and gadgets and iPads and toys and TV and apps and YouTube. And I feel like we're probably losing a little bit of individuality and imagination and ingenuity and thinking up things and, solving problems, problem solving. I think a lot of kids rely on the parents to pick them up, and we wrap them in cotton wool. And if my kid is constantly going down the back of the couch, he's 1 and 3 months, and my other daughter does the same thing, and neither of them can get out, so they ask for my help. And it's like, I don't want them to struggle, but I want them to figure out a way. If they got themselves into that problem, they figure out a way of getting out. And I feel like some parents just wrap the kids up too much and do too much for them. And what are you taking away from your kid in doing that? Their ability to problem solve, their ability to deal with stress to a certain degree, and their big life skills. And I know it sounds daft at like 1 and 3 months and 3, but life starts early and it's a journey, and you build them muscles up over time. And I do want to see them thrive, and I do want to be there for them, and I don't want to see them struggle massively, but they do need a bit of their own mental toughness to deal with things. And the whole imagination thing and dreaming up ideas and coming up with solutions, that's all, being bored and having to figure things out and cooperating and discussing things with your friends and coming up with things. And I just think the whole technology side of things has took that away from kids. And we need to remember that the big outdoors and fields and wildlife and nature and climbing trees and football and riding your bikes, you know what? Grazed knees and grazed hands and banged heads are a good thing. They're not a bad thing. They shouldn't be shied away from. You need to let your kids kind of go through that. It's kind of part of growing